I want to start today with a feeling that I think it's almost universal, especially if you've ever walked into, say, a crystal shop.
Right.
You're walking past all these tables of polished stones, rough clusters, and then bam, you just feel this undeniable pull toward one specific stone.
It's so immediate. You don't know the name, you have no idea what it costs.
Right.
And you certainly don't know its supposed meaning. But there's this compulsion, like a magnet is pulling your hand right to it.
Exactly. And that's the core question for our deep dive today. We're kind of flipping the script on that experience. Most of us just assume, we chose the crystal.
But in the spiritual world, the whole idea, the really powerful one, is that the crystal actually chooses you.
Which is such a fascinating concept.
It is. And it connects our own spiritual path to deep geological time.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to unpack that. We'll start with the metaphysical idea of resonance, how stones align with our spiritual roadmap.
But we're not just staying there.
No, not at all. We're going to pivot and contrast that with what geology tells us, what psychology has found, especially around the placebo effect, and finally, the huge role these materials have played in, all of human history. We want to know what that feeling really reveals about us. So to start, you really have to grasp the sheer scale of a crystal's origin. They aren't just pretty objects.
Right. They're not just rocks.
No. They're basically the vibrational energy of the planet itself. We're talking about immense pressure, incredible heat, millions of years deep in the earth. They literally embody the forces of earth, water, air, and fire.
And because of that intense process, each stone holds a very stable, very specific frequency.
A specific frequency, and that's where we come in, the messy, oscillating humans.
Yeah, our frequency is anything but stable.
Exactly. The core belief here is that every phase of your life is a frequency, but ours is always shifting. It changes with your emotions, your stress, even how well you slept last night.
So when you feel that intuitive pull to a stone, the idea is that its stable frequency is sort of tuning in to your unstable one.
That's it, exactly. It's matching an unmet need, an emotional or spiritual one that you might not even be aware of. It's providing the stability that you, in that moment, lack.
Okay, so how do you know if it's really chosen you and you're not just thinking, oh, that one's shiny?
Well, there are some really specific signals, what some people call the signs of intuitive selection.
Okay.
The simplest one is just a sudden urge to touch it. You can't even explain why. You just feel you have to.
I've definitely felt that.
But it can be much more intense. Some people report this weird sense of familiarity or recognition, like a jolt of deja vu, as if you've known that stone before.
And what about when you leave the store? Does it end there?
Not always. A really powerful sign is if you can't stop thinking about it, it just keeps popping into your head. That's supposedly your inner wisdom going, hey, listen, go back.
Like your intuition is nagging you.
Or what some call higher flirtation, where you feel like the stone is actively calling to you. Maybe you feel a sense of peace from it or a sudden rush of strength just by looking at it.
But the most dramatic signs have to be the physical ones.
No, absolutely. The ones you can't ignore. When you touch it and it feels unnaturally warm or intensely cold, or it feels way heavier or lighter in your hand than it should.
And there's one stone that's famous for this kind of intense reaction.
You have to be talking about moldavite.
Yeah.
That powerful green tektite. I mean, it's from a meteorite impact 15 million years ago, so its frequency is literally otherworldly.
And people feel that.
Oh, they do. We have sources describing what's called the moldavite flush. People touch it for the first time and feel this intense heat shoot up their arm and through their body.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes causing sweating, flushing, or even a huge emotional release, like sudden laughter or tears. It's a real physical jolt to the system.
After something like that, you couldn't just dismiss it as a pretty object.
Exactly. And the final signs are if it shows up in your dreams, or if you just get this deep, unshakable gut feeling that this stone, this one piece, is meant to start a whole new chapter for you. At that point, the connection is locked in. So if a stone chooses you based on your needs, then it follows that the type of stone you're drawn to says something about where you are on your spiritual path.
It becomes a kind of map.
An energy map of what you are becoming. Exactly.
Okay, let's make this practical. Let's walk through that roadmap. The idea is that different crystals align with different phases of, say, a spiritual awakening.
Right. And it usually starts with phase 1, initial awakening or healing.
This is where your spirit is maybe a bit fragile or wounded. It needs calm, it needs nurturing.
And this is where so many people find themselves drawn to rose quartz.
The classic soda of unconditional love.
But it's not just about romance. Its energy is really about opening the heart chakra to self-love first. It's meant to help dissolve all that old resentment, anger, and fear. It's a very gentle, foundational stone.
And then there's amethyst, the deep purple one.
A spiritual powerhouse for thousands of years. Its name in Greek literally means not intoxicated.
Because they thought it protected you from getting drunk.
Physically or spiritually, yes. It's seen as a spiritual cleanser. It brings calm, cuts through anxiety, and helps connect you to your higher intuition, the third eye and crown chakras. So these are your starter stones in a way, soothing stones.
But the journey doesn't stop there. What's next?
Phase 2, clearing old energy, or what some people call shadow work.
This sounds heavier.
It is. This is when you need grounding and serious protection because you're starting to face your baggage, your old patterns, your trauma. The energy shifts from those soft pinks and purples to much darker, earthier tones.
So this is where you'd be drawn to something like black tourmaline for that energetic shield.
Exactly. Or you might find yourself grabbing a piece of obsidian.
Volcanic glass, that stuff is intense.
It's heavy duty. Obsidian is for confronting the shadow self head on. It's for pulling out deep energetic blockages rooted in trauma. It's not a comfortable stone, it's a transformative one.
And after all that cleansing, you get to phase 3, accelerating transformation.
This is when you're ready. You're ready for a massive life change, for rapid growth. And this brings us back to stones like Moldavite. Because it has that insane non-terrestrial frequency, it's believed to just kick your spiritual growth into high gear. It can force huge shifts in your life to get you to your highest potential.
That sounds kind of terrifying, to be honest.
It absolutely can be. And this is a critical warning. These high vibration stones are accelerators. But if you jump in too fast, your own energy system can't handle it. It can't integrate that much change that quickly.
And what happens then?
You can get some serious side effects: energetic overwhelm, intense anxiety, emotional instability.
But wait, if the stone is supposed to choose you based on what you need, why would it choose something that could give you a panic attack?
That's the key question. The belief is that it chooses you for what you're ready for, not what's easy. The disruption is seen as the catalyst, but, and this is a huge but, you have to use grounding tools.
So you can't just use it on its own.
You shouldn't. You need to pair it with a heavy grounding stone like black tourmaline or hematite to anchor that energy in your body. It allows the shift to happen safely instead of just, blowing all your circuits.
Okay, so we've explored this really intense spiritual framework. Now let's shift gears and put on our analytical hats.
Let's do it.
From a psychological perspective, that moment a stone chooses you is really your subconscious showing you what you need.
Precisely. If you're struggling with self-doubt, you might unconsciously gravitate toward citrine, the stone for confidence. The crystal becomes a physical, material anchor for an abstract intention.
So the idea of protection or love becomes something tangible you can hold.
Exactly. But let's move from the subjective to the measurable, because crystals do have measurable energy. This isn't metaphysics, this is physics.
You're talking about piezoelectricity.
I am. Discovered by the Curie brothers in 1880, it means that crystals like quartz, when you squeeze them, when you apply mechanical stress, they generate a measurable electric charge.
And it's their perfect geometric structure that makes them so reliable.
Incredibly reliable. It's why quartz is in our clocks, our computers, our sensors. Its frequency is constant, period.
But here's the leap, right? The metaphysical claim is that a crystal, just sitting there, is emitting a frequency that interacts with our bodies.
And that's the critical distinction. Piezoelectricity requires mechanical stress. So the question scientists ask is, can a crystal held loosely in your hand measurably change your energy systems?
And when they test that, what do they find?
Well, when you apply the scientific method to crystal healing, the results are pretty skeptical. Crystal healing is widely classified as a pseudoscience.
Okay, give me an example.
There was a great randomized study on anxiety relief. They gave one group rose quartz and another group a placebo, basically a piece of glass or plastic that looked identical. And the results were conclusive. The anxiety reduction was exactly the same for both the real crystal and the fake one. The crystal showed no effect beyond the proven and very powerful placebo response.
So what does that say about that feeling of healing? It's all in our heads.
It's mediated by expectancy and confirmation bias, especially for people who already believe.
So if you feel better, you credit the crystal.
Right, that's confirmation bias. But the deeper thing at play is what psychologists call a prophecy of self-fulfillment. If you genuinely expect the rose quartz to calm you down, your own nervous system responds to that belief.
Your brain becomes its own pharmacy.
That's a perfect way to put it. It triggers neurochemicals that genuinely do reduce anxiety. The crystal in this sphere is simply the ritualistic trigger for an internal process.
So stepping back even further, this whole conversation goes way beyond healing or psychology. I mean, whether it's frequency or just brain chemistry, our connection to minerals is ancient. It's the bedrock of our entire civilization.
It literally is. Minerals aren't just features in our lives, they are the material basis of our lives.
Think about the timescales. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, right? That's around 2600 BCE. Millions of massive blocks of limestone and granite.
And even earlier, our first real steps in technology were all about minerals. Archaeologists have found copper pins from 7000 BCE, lead beads from 6500 BCE. Minerals gave us pigments, cement, pottery, glass. They defined entire ages of human history.
And there's this universal attraction we have to them, especially the shiny ones.
There is, and there might be a deep evolutionary reason for our attraction to luster. It goes beyond just culture.
What do you mean?
Well, some studies suggest our preference for glossy, reflective things could be linked to our primal biological need for water.
No way. So the pull towards a shiny diamond is tapping into the same instinct that makes us look for a river when we're thirsty.
That's the theory. They found that thirsty participants in a study showed a much higher preference for images on glossy paper things that looked wet compared to people who weren't thirsty. That attraction to shine has always been linked to power, from royal gold to religious icons.
But we can't talk about the modern crystal boom without also talking about the dark side of it.
No, we have to. The huge global demand for these stones, especially from developing nations, comes at a very real cost.
Environmentally, for one.
Absolutely. The search for these perfect specimens can lead to serious environmental degradation from open pit mining.
And then there's the human cost, the labor.
Which is the most critical part. The same stones sold to us for inner peace and healing can come from mines with incredibly unsafe conditions. And there are repeated reports pointing to the use of child labor in places like Madagascar, which is a huge source for many of the most popular crystals.
A difficult thing to reconcile.
It is. It forces you to ask if the energetic purity you're looking for in the stone is compromised by the very real, very human trail it leaves behind.
So this deep dive has really shown us this incredible duality. Our relationship with minerals is happening all at once on these different planes: spiritual, psychological, technological, and now a critical ethical one.
It's all tangled together, whether the attraction you feel is driven by resonant frequencies or just powerful psychological conditioning, the pull itself is undeniable.
It really is.
And that pull forces us to think in multiple timescales at once. And that, I think, is the real insight here. When you hold a stone, you're not just connecting to your personal time, your current life lesson.
You're connecting to all of human history, which was built with these things.
And even bigger than that, you're connecting to geological time.
Which is just a mind-bending scale.
Right. So here's the final thought. If that crystal in your hand has existed for hundreds of millions, maybe billions of years, how significant is your brief, fleeting attachment to it? Is it really just about your immediate lesson? Or is your entire journey, all your hopes and fears and transformations, is all of that just one short, vibrant moment reflected in its ancient, almost endless existence?
Something to think about the next time you feel that pull.